Earlier today, Bulkhead released another Wardogs devlog, and there was one point in particular that immediately stood out to me. Executive producer Joe Brammer said, if you're designing games for everybody, you're kind of designing the game for nobody. And I think this one sentence gets at a huge problem with modern shooters, especially Battlefield 6. Starting off, I want to say that I think this is exactly what we need more of with modern gaming. Shooters that are focused on the experience they're actually trying to create instead of chasing mass appeal first and hoping that identity comes later. To be clear, Wardogs might not even end up being a game that I get invested into long term, but that doesn't bother me. If it's not made for me, that's okay, but I can still respect a game that has a clear direction and knows what it wants to be and is willing to commit to it. This is also why I respect the communication around this game so far. They're openly talking about things like aiming for 3,000 to 10,000 concurrent players as a sustainable range for the game. So instead of pretending that they're a shooter game that's trying to have some sort of mass mainstream appeal to be considered successful, they're focusing on and acknowledging that numbers spike and then settle, which is normal, and they know the range that they need to be in to sustain the game. And I think this kind of honesty deserves a lot of praise, because it gets ahead of one of the most tired conversations in gaming at the moment, where people are treating any decline in player count like it's proof that the game is dead or failing. Not every multiplayer game needs to dominate the genre. Some games just need a strong core audience and a design philosophy that knows exactly what it is and who it's for. And this is where I think Battlefield 6 stands out, but in the opposite direction. A lot of Battlefield 6 feels like a game designed to reduce friction, smooth off edges, and be broadly acceptable to as many people as possible. When a shooter starts doing that too much, it oftentimes loses clarity. Trade-offs become weaker, the identity becomes flatter, and the experience starts feeling less like a game with a strong point of view and more like a product trying not to push anybody away. And to be clear, I'm not saying that accessibility is a bad thing, but there is a difference between accessibility and design dilution. Accessibility can help people become more engaged with the game, but designing for everybody oftentimes sands off the exact things that gave the game depth, character, and long-term appeal in the first place. So even if Wardogs isn't a game I end up fully diving into, I still respect what it represents, and I respect a shooter game that knows what it is and who it's for. And frankly, I think we need more of that right now in the gaming space, but especially when it comes to shooters, because right now there's just too many modern shooters I think that are afraid to commit to a real identity. And I think Battlefield 6 is one of the clearest examples of this problem. But what do you think? Do you feel that modern shooters spend too much time chasing the mass appeal, or is that just the reality of making multiplayer games today? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. I'll catch you on the next one. RAMTEID out.